Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is ESEA Season 26, Week 4, on the cusp of the Jungle Inferno update. We're going to get one more night free from the new Pyro meta just around the corner. And we'll be seeing the last licks of TF2 in this meta. We're going to be seeing Velocity versus Fank Gaming on probably one of the more exciting maps in a regular season. It's Product, aka Viaduct Pro version. I am Ro, joined here with Cornpop, my other caster, and Console, the cameraman. Cornpop, talk about the teams. What do we got here?
Well, these teams haven't changed much since the beginning of the season. I don't think they've changed at all. Velocity Esports, they've got Bear as their meta, Jera's up on Demoman, Marmaloo is their roamer, Kryptonite is their pocket soldier, Shemu and Knuckles are going to be their scouts. They've been consistently one of the most, consistent teams in terms of their roster the past couple of seasons. They've only had to change, I think, one player per season, so they've been sticking around for a long time. Faint Gaming are going to have May on Medic, Campy up on Demoman, Tambo and Laz are their soldiers, and Yite and Boar are their scouts.
Way to just steal both teams from me. Why don't you?
Yep, I'm doing
no
them.
big deal. But hey, that's okay, because we've got plenty to talk about here. You made an interesting point about Fank Gaming and their recent roster change. What was that exactly?
Faint Gaming, I believe they recently cut our dear friend Sandblast off their team, and now they're playing here with Boar. And I'd just like to point out they have not lost a game since cutting Sandblast. This could be their first if Velocity have anything to say about it. Velocity are a very good team, probably a top 4 team. Faint Gaming are hoping to be labeled in that category as well. These are two of the teams who are going to be battling for that last playoff spot at the end of the season, so it'll be a good match for sure, and they both have a lot to lose.
I think the secret there is not that they cut Sandblast, but that they picked up Boar. Boar is the factor here. It's not because Sandblast was the problem. Sandblast wasn't the problem. Boar was just the solution.
I don't know. I want to hear Twitch chat's
Viaduct,
opinion
so
on
he's
that.
going to be playing Sniper where he domains. Where he resides, dominant.
For sure. Boar is a very good sniper main. Obviously, I mean, he plays scout on the team, but does a lot of off-classing a sniper, and Viaduct is a very sniper-friendly map. There's basically, I mean, if you stand up on China, you've got the sightline of the entire map, so it can be really powerful, especially if you're already holding the point, but even getting in as well, if you're hitting your shots. It can be hard to take down a sniper like this, so we'll see. It's going to be a challenge for Velocity to actually counter that. We'll see what they want to pull out of the bag. And it's kind of lucky for Fank Gaming, because normally I would give this kind of prediction towards Velocity Esports, but just because it's this map, Fank Gaming, they might be able to pull out.
Yeah, Velocity, they did win against Ascent, right? That's the team I'm thinking of.
Yep.
Yeah, defeating Ascent was a really big surprise to everyone because Velocity had a really hard time against, I can't remember the other team. What was it that they played?
Swift.
Swift. Was Tiger who didn't wake up, so they had to get a ringer, and they lost to Swift, and then they beat Ascent. It's just really kind of incredible. I think that had more to do with the fact that it was Metalworks Week, one of the less staple maps of TF2 in terms of familiarity. And
yeah,
maybe Ascent wasn't playing at their best either, but either way, Velocity do have a lot of strength, and they're gonna have to step up the plate. But in the past, I have seen Laz on Viaduct, and this man pounds as a roamer, particularly on Viaduct. He knows how to get behind at just the right time, just the right places, and then get the frags on the players that chase him down.
Hopefully we'll be bringing that out tonight. Viaduct, of course, played first to 4. We were supposed, well, we didn't think we were going to actually have a game tonight because the Pyro update was supposed to come out, but surprise twist from Valve, they got us all. It's coming out tomorrow. So we're going to have a match here tonight. What do you think about those changes, just real quick? I'm assuming you read over them. Are you happy, excited, like what you see?
Well, Cornpop, your assumptions were correct. I did read them very carefully, and I got a good feel for everything. I want to say one thing before, so we talk about the meta stuff. They literally just copy pasted the blog post they originally made
Oh yeah.
regarding the weapon changes. Like they made the changes that they made, but they left everything else in like verbatim, and pretty lazy on Valve's part. But whatever, you know. As far as everything goes, I didn't see anything that was meta changing outside of the fact that the crossbow is now balanced. And what's interesting about it particularly is the crossbow will now have that normal heal or uber charge build rate in tandem with what you would do with a medigun. But the difference is if you haven't been involved in an attack, in a battle, like if your person you just healed hasn't done damage recently, you're going to be doing a third of the building. So that means if your medic dies on mid, and then you're up on last trying to arrow building is 100% slower. Well, technically it's 33% slower than just building with normal medigun.
Yeah, there's a lot of meta implications in terms of that, with the arrow building. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we're not going to see needles come back anytime soon. They didn't nerf it that bad, but it's good to see it being taken down a notch. I think everybody would agree the crossbow was too powerful. Maybe people would disagree on the extent to which it was too powerful, but I'm happy with this nerf. Maybe we could see it go a little bit further. We'll see how it ends up playing out. It's not going to get banned or anything because of this nerf, so it should be an interesting change. Otherwise, we didn't, as you said, we didn't really get a whole lot of new information today. It was a little bit disappointing, at least in that respect. Was there anything? I think there was a couple changes from the blog post, but I don't think any new weapons got any drastic changes. The Pretty Boy's pocket pistol has been a bit of a discussion point on the forums. I know that much.
And that's I'm kind of lost in that area specifically because I don't know what got removed or what's being planned for remove, and I don't even remember what happened to it recently because I remember it being a thing where you got health on hit instead of the no fall damage and the health boost, and now they've changed it again, and I'm completely lost in terms of what the implications are for the pocket pistol. But I know one thing, that it does have a reduced clip. So with the winger already being a actual part of the meta, not necessarily the meta, but it is available and people have been using it, I don't see the clip size being one of the issues with the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol.
Yeah, it says it's listed on the thing. Some of the weapons are listed as changes, and then it's got a list of things that have changed, but this one's listed as new design. So I'm thinking maybe they just removed all the old stats and they've replaced it with the new stats. So that's more firing speed, 7 HP per hit, and 25% less clip size. That seems pretty powerful to me.
Definitely,
we'll have to see if it's powerful enough for a ban, because I don't think it's banned right now. It's not very good right now, I don't think. I think it was banned, but then they nerfed it, so it was really bad, and then it got unbanned. Now they're buffing it again. We'll see how it ends up playing out. It might hit that sweet spot where it's like balanced and like still. We'll see. I want to see playtests, but like, it certainly doesn't look like it.
Yeah, right off the top of my head, when you look at the range of the pistols itself, you have the stock pistol with 12 shots, you have the winger with 5 shots, and you're talking about a pistol that's in between that range of clip size with more firing speed and health on hit. I mean, if clip size isn't an issue for the winger, I don't see how the clip size being this small of a clip size nerf being an issue for the Pocket Boy itself. But we'll talk about these things another day. We can check them out on the forums at teamfortress.tv. But we're going live. They were talking about getting a server change. Marmaloo currently sitting on 100 ping, the only player afflicted by this.
Yeah, they were talking about it, but it's not going to happen, it seems. So, once again, this is ESEA Invite Season 26, Week 4, Viaduct Week. It is Velocity Esports taking on Feint Gaming as they're going to roll into this first mid-fight. Of course, Timmy Two Pipe is campy on your screen, and Jarrett is going to be rolling into mid with him. We'll see who wants to get aggressive, see if there's any aggressive soldier bombs. Soldiers are mostly just sitting back at this point. Velocity taking a little bit more point pressure. Just getting on it now, getting some time. Still locked, gonna be unlocking soon. Here we see a big bomb in. It's gonna be Laz getting behind the enemy team, and with that, his team is aggressing. Laz right under the medic is gonna get that frag. Or running in through connector as well, gets a frag on an enemy team soldier. 3 down from Feint Gaming. They are gonna have to back off, but as long as they can keep May alive, this won't be the disaster. But Nuck is in on the medic as they get this frag. May gets the Uber Saw. Great job by the medic. They're going to be able to stay alive, as well as the soldier Junie from Spy Kids. They're going to be okay. Double going to be jumping up on that point and even blocking it for a little bit of time. Pushing Jared off and getting the frag on a Shamu. Getting the frag on a Jared as well. Great work by the two living players on Faint Gaming.
Yeah, that was a good call. Whoever it was that told Dingo, hey, these guys are literally one shot apiece. And Dingo was able to get back into the fray there in the wake of his medic being attacked by the scout, but making the handle himself. He's shown that.
Now they're going to continue to exchange some spam again. 100% on Mei. Mei didn't die. Bear did. He's only at 45% Uber charge. So there was no forward hold coming out of Faint Gaming. They weren't really in a position to set that up. It's going to be a big sack in by all the explosive classes. They're running forward, but they're having some issues. They're going to get Timmy 2 pipes, so that's one frag onto the Demo Man. Looks like Nuck is going to be running around. Mei's gotten very low, but looks like they're not going to be able to get the force out of him. So that was an unsuccessful sack. 4 players down. Not a big deal, though.
Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles on Viaduct. You've got the sack wave, you got the respawns, you've got the Uber, and now we're back to where we're going to be seeing what kind of exchange that Velocity is going to be bringing out here as they are creeping their way towards the point. They're getting a little bit of cap time now at the start. Nuck taking a little bit of damage though, and both the scouts are very weak, and nothing has been really initiated from either side. We do see the force coming in from Bear, who was getting very low on HP. Not sure if he was milking or just took a rocket at the wrong time. The force does manage to get the Uber out of Mei as well, and Shamu's currently inside of the house, and Jared's going to be walking forward, getting a frag onto Yite. Dingo will pick up on Nuck, but get retaliated by Jared immediately. So now Velocity had taken complete control, but Mei was able to get out of there using what was left of the Uber and leaving his players for dead.
It was a better Uber by Faint Gaming, and it was looking better in the start of that fight, but their players split up a little bit too much, and they were able to get caught off guard. I think 2 of them flanked behind. One of them was sitting connector, totally disconnected from the rest of the team, so Velocity were more clumped up. They were able to pick off the players that they needed to, and now they're in control of the point. Minute 44 on Faint Gaming's clock. And we'll see how they want to regress. And they're still even Ubers, and they have this one pick advantage as Shamu did go down. Now here comes a bomb in by Laz, just getting behind Boar, up on the flank, does get the frag on Marmaloo. Still Laz jumping around, jumping back to his team it seems. So they've capped this point, Velocity have backed off, they don't want to fight this right now, Ro.
Yeah, Laz did very good about maneuvering his way using the building heights and not clipping onto any walls or corners. He can do so much work to just draw players' attention back. And as a result, you're seeing Velocity completely out of the fray here. Now trying to reinitiate here with Bear at very low health. He'll be popping that Uber off very late into that exchange. Laz did manage to jump onto the China behind. Gonna get down onto Jared here, getting some 2 rockets. A follow-up from Yites are gonna be able to clean that up. And now, with a big rocket from all the soldiers of Faint Gaming, they're able to clean up onto Shamu as well as Kryptonite. And then a follow-up onto Bear. Might be able to take him down. He surfs it, but he can't survive! Oh, he strafed so perfectly. But he still took the bad RNG for how much damage you take from a fall damage, and he does crater on top of the crates despite his best efforts.
Marmaloo's been stuck behind for a long time. He's just trying to live and get out or get something for his life right now. He's going through connector and he's gonna make it back to his team. The sneaky escape from the Dog Soldier. Now it's going to be up to Velocity to retake this point. Only 30 seconds left on the Faint Gaming clock. Big bomb by Marmaloo, just going to be getting behind. Looks like we're going to see Dingo do the exact same thing, but he's jumping around the point. Marmaloo is in a bit of a position. He's around Mei and Campy, but he's just going to end up going down. In the meantime, so many other players from Velocity have as well. They're back by their clip. There's only 3 alive. There's 18 seconds on that clock row. It's looking very, very bad if you're a Velocity esports fan.
Yeah, Faint Gaming are very dominating right now. They have the Uber on the point. Bear is calling for the team to get time on the cap at least. They will be able to get a frag on a Boar there, and that's going to be a very crucial pick. But with Laz and Boar down, it's going to be very hard for the rest of Faint to defend against this. The Ubers are actually now ready on both sides, and there is a little bit of cap time still. They're flashing back and forth. The decap almost happens, but Velocity will get some more time on the point here, getting some good damage as well onto this Demo Man. 2v2 pipe going in, hitting a pipe onto Shamu, doing good damage here, and the rest of his team is able to follow up closely. The Laz bomb comes in deep, is able to take down Bear, and Yite is going to also pick up onto Shamu, but the frags are coming back in full force from Jarrett, who's not getting up without a fight. He does get taken down here. Now Marmaloo and Nuck are all that's left, and they are going to die because they couldn't finish off the cap, and the decap will decapitate.
Viaduct's always really exciting at the end, just because of the chaos that ends up happening if these clocks get down to 0. In the end of that chaos, Faint Gaming was able to take it over, so It is going to be them leading 1-0 with coming to the second round. Once again, fighting for this middle point. Going to be exchanging some spam. Kryptonite going for a quick bomb. Marmaloo not far behind him. Marmaloo with the true bomb, and he's coming in looking for May. Make it extremely low. He's not going to get cleaned up. Gets the pack back behind. Marmaloo and Jarrett now both going to also go down. Faint Gaming are doing so much work. Oh, they almost got the ace, but they need to kill Shemu, and they will have fully wiped the team. There we go. Yike gets the final frag, and everybody's dead.
Not everyone. There were a couple respawns. We're going to be seeing actually a little bit of initiation here from Velocity. They want to bully their way out before the forward hold can take effect. And as a result, we're going to be seeing Marmaloo going in deep, getting so much damage on the May. May had to force there. Great rockets from Marmaloo. And now we got to see Velocity at least rotating out. The Uber bench is going to be pretty sizable. But 40%, you really need to start working with it. And actually, I think they're going to be opting for a dry push with their number advantage here. But Marmaloo only just now respawning. We're going to be seeing how Velocity take control of this number scan.
Kind of like this play from them. They're going to be just getting aggressive. They have some time before Ubers come into effect. And even when they have, it looks like they've been building really well. So they're going to have a bit more of an advantage than they were even thinking of. So still just spamming over this point. They don't want to commit to it seems, just yet. Now Shemu's getting some time on that point. Now they're starting to get more aggressive. Marmaloo's going in for a bomb again. He's just going to get behind. They're going to get the frag onto the soldier. Dingo ends up going down. Yite also going to end up cratering. Marmaloo ended up dying in the end, but he did some work in the back lines anyways. Only 3 alive as the point gets capped off, so still over 2 minutes on that Bank Gaming clock all over this point. They're eating a lot of spam, but unless Laz can do a huge bomb, no, he's faking out. This is going to be Velocity holding on for a little longer.
Yeah, we do see Timmy 2Pipe trying to get a little bit of initiation here. Dingo's going to be doing a little bit of spam as well. Laz, once again, jumping behind, not quite getting his mark this time, but the Force was able to go onto Bear there. Good damage from, I believe, Timmy 2Pipe. They're going to be chasing forward now on the wake of this Uber. And Bear is nowhere to be found. He's trying to get away. Laz getting some good damage onto Jarrett in main. He might even be able to sneak out just in time, but no, Kryptonite bumps into his face. He's going to get cleaned up there by Boar, though. But with Timmy 2Pipe down, it's going to be very hard for Faint to hold on to this. They got to get some damage out as best as they can, but with Dingo the only player to really initiate here, this guy's going to have to back off. Yite still staying very close. They don't want it to happen, but Velocity will be able to grab this cap right away and lose 2 players, unfortunately, though.
The scouts on Bank Gaming are killing so many players. They're still pushing forward. Yite wanted to get that Kryptonite frag. Boar isn't stopping either. Here we see Dingo's going to be jumping up on a cliff, and now they forced everybody back. Velocity are all back in their sort of spawn area, so great aggression by Faint Gaming and continuing to hold the lead in this second round and in the match overall. 100% Ubercharge on both sides, no silly off classes in this game. Interesting, we still haven't seen Borgo's Sniper, which we were kind of talking about in the early game, but now Velocity have pushed out, immediately popping to try to break this forward hold. Counterprop did come out of May as well, so they're still spam back and forth. Shemu and Marmaloo both going to go down as soon as these Ubers end. Dingo's jumping in over to choke as well, so it doesn't look like this was a successful push out of their spawn into this forward hold. So again, the forward hold's going to persist. They didn't get any frags as they popped that one off.
Yeah, Faint Gaming are very commanding right now. Holding so aggressive, they're practically inside of the spawn areas. And actually a nice little sticky trap is going to be able to catch out Nuck, who got juggled into the face of Timmy 2Pipe, who will be able to just barely stay alive after the follow-up aggression from the rest of Velocity. Velocity now are trying to find any break in the chain right now because it's just way too strong with Boar and Campy sitting on top of that cliffside and Dingo just freely walking up into the main house, spamming it. Finally, they do work out the Pyro. This has been used before, getting themselves in against the soldiers, but now he's stuck on Pyro. I know he's going to be opting to go back, using that power jet to give him that little speed boost there. But meanwhile, they're still going to be playing 5v6, trying to get a little bit more ground here. Velocity need to find some initiation, and Marmaloo and Kryptonite are kind of disconnected from a bomb attempt. And actually, he's going to get picked off by Dingo here, and Lad's going to follow up with some good damage onto Nuck in main. Going to also get on top of Marmaloo, going to frag that out. Nuck will get the retaliation frag, and the Uber has been forced on top of the point here. All throughout the connector even, they're trying to juggle some players, but the time is so strong in favor of Faint Gaming. They have so much of the cap done. There's 3 seconds left on the clock. Can Velocity get some time on the cap here?
Ooh, big pipe from Jarrett's gonna be able to frag the enemy Demo Man, and with that frag alone, they're getting another one on the Yite. They are gonna be able to cap it off. I didn't think it was gonna happen for them, but some big plays gonna allow them to get it. Still though, overtime on that Faint clock, and 2 minutes they have to hold it for. That is a tall order.
That is It is, but they are getting into their forward hold positions. They have both the soldiers on the right, Jared and a scout on the left. That's all you really need. Boar's going to be walking into the sticky trap, gets taken down immediately. But a follow-up from Dingo is actually going to open the door because that sticky trap was all that it took. And a follow-up bomb onto Jared is all it's going to take to remove the forward hold, because that nice little jungle will be able to allow them to rush forward. But Bear will have his Uber to defend here if they are going to be popping Uber off. Fank Gaming are getting on top of the players, but Laz is going to get taken down here. That is not what they need in this exchange, so they're going to be backing out here. A nice follow-up rocket onto Yadi is going to get them very low on health, and the aggression from Nuck is also going to pressure them back. They're on the bottom of Cliff, and they can't quite get back forward. Velocity is doing a very good job of holding on to this.
Fully even Ubers now, still spamming across the point. Look how low Bear is. He's in a lot of trouble, and Boar is there looking at him. It's just a single soldier bomb, and they could get that frag, but they're getting the other ones anyways. Shamu and Jared both go down. There goes Nakamarmalu. There we go, Ro. Everybody just died.
2-0, commanding lead for sure from Fank Gaming. Velocity did have a chance to get back in there, but as you saw in that last exchange, they just couldn't keep up with it. There was just way too much velocity in their face. Or, excuse me, I got that backwards. Fank Gaming. I'm bad with colors. I'm colorblind, team. But we're going to be seeing Marmaloo getting behind in the grasslands. Be jumping into the around the corner, drawing some players back. Laz going to be following up as well. Going to be getting some nice rocket onto Jarrett. Couldn't quite follow up onto Bear, but a cleanup from Boar will be able to take it down. And Dingo, who was also sitting on top of Cliff, will be able to clean that up. There is no one behind from Velocity, and they have wiped, essentially.
It's the same story over and over and over again with these mids. Velocity can't seem to find a footing at all. What they're doing isn't working, and they're going to try to change, or they were going to try to change it up. They had knock on Sniper, but sticking with Scout, they're going to continue trying to bash at this point, and I mean, they've got some more tries. They're going to send a lot of players into sack. They're losing them all, and they haven't gotten too much damage. Jared from behind doesn't be able to get May. May's so low, but not going to happen. Shamu and Bear are building back in spawn, so an unsuccessful sack wave there.
Yeah, pretty standard. And now the forward hold is going to be up and available for the rest of Fank Gaming. This is like clockwork. I wonder if they're going to be opting to go with the Pyro right out the gate, but no, they're actually going to have Nuck on the Sniper, which could potentially catch a Dingo. I actually agree with this because he's going to peek forward and still get the kill. That was unfortunate. Nuck not quite ready for the two-shot.
Yeah, that was less than ideal. Still, though, they're going to be trying to just pop off on the right-hand side. It seems running forward with their two scouts, or scout and a soldier, even Kryptonites over there. Pop did come out of May as well, so there's the counter pop, and they have gotten most of their players out of the spawn area. It looks like Fank Gaming are content to back away. They got the frag on a knock. Here comes Marmaloo, though. Big bomb in. He's going to deal some damage. Kryptonite gets the frag on a yike. Laz in the back lines is going to be looking to get somebody here. He's firing some rockets around, but does just end up dying in the end. Borg got the frag on a Kryptonite as well, so 4-on-5 at the moment. Velocity eSports have the numbers, but they need to actually go with it. Fank Gaming have not given up this middle point just yet. I think they're about to, though. Backing off, it seems like they are not wanting to stay around, and it's going to be Velocity eSports taking control of this middle point, but Fank Gaming might be willing to fight it still.
Yeah, they certainly can. I mean, they're already in the fray. They almost have their Uber. They're definitely going to be waiting for the call first, but they want to get a player in at least. They don't know about Bear having his Uber ready, though, so now we're going to be seeing initiation from Laz, getting on top of the medic, doing so much damage. Couldn't quite get followed up, and Bear milked it perfectly, beautifully, really, and is able to get forced off here. Now we do see Fank Gaming retaliating here. They're rushing forward. Shaman's going to get taken down as well as Kryptonite, but the rest of Velocity did manage to back out. So only 2 frags in that exchange. Very good. Jared actually jumping in, dies to his own hand as he throws a sticky in his face and detonates it before he lands. And that's going to open the door for Fank to continue to run down this clock with already such a significant time advantage.
A minute, and it's still ticking down. 2:27 on the Velocity clock, so even if they cap it, they're going to have to hold it for so much longer than Fank Gaming do. They're going to try to break up the forward spawn again. Kryptonite's so low. Marmaloo's the one who's jumping forward, though, and he ends up getting pistoled down by Yike. They're going to get the counter frag onto Dingo, so he's going to end up going down 5-on-5 at the moment. Kryptonite pushing on this left-hand side, dealing some damage. Looks like it's going to be Fank Gaming, mostly backing up for this forward hold position, but they haven't given up the point yet. Laz is going to go behind. He's going to be causing some distractions and maybe even get some frags. There he goes, immediately onto Jarrett, gets that one cleaned up by Nuck in the end. Uber charges have been exchanged, 30 seconds left on that clock over on this middle point. Kryptonite now fighting, get over on concrete, jumps back after dealing some damage. Couple seconds on point, still 18 left on the blue timer. They're going to lose Boar, it seems. The Spain Gaming aren't going to get that one, but lost to eSports. Still have some time, 10 seconds, and it will go into overtime if they can stand on it for a little bit longer. They've got more presence here, but they lose Shamu. That could hurt their chances. Still, it seems like they are going to be able to cap this off. Big bomb by Marmalou, who's going to get a nice crucial frag on a Yite. We'll see if it matters, though. They're losing all their players, though, and everybody's dead. Bro, what even happened? It was looking so good.
I know exactly what happened, my friend. We're at the halftime, so this is the perfect time to talk about it. Right there, Velocity had the numbers, but they didn't have the health. Every single player was below 80% health. Some were even at 66%, like 2/3 of their health. And that made them all passive. They were really careful. They didn't want to push forward. They had a 2-man advantage, even though one person just spawned. They had a 2-man advantage, and they couldn't get the ground they needed to at least finish the cap off because they were just all so hurt.
I hope stats are being put on stream soon, because, or if they're not already, because dear lord, Campy's hitting that 520 damage per minute. It was a bit of a roll, and it's Viaduct, okay, but I'm always gonna get excited when I see that 500 damage, especially when he top fragged on top of it. Or no, he didn't top frag. He only got 8 frags. He almost bottom fragged. Okay, never mind. But still, really high damage by him. 520 is a nice number to have. 472 from Dingo, also not bad.
I mean, Dingo really is the stat line to look at here.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you got 500 damage from Campy. That's phenomenal. But when you see practically 500 DPM, as well as a KD that is absolutely insane, I mean, we're talking about 21 and 5. That is greater than a 4-1 KD.
Yeah, that's a really good KD overall. And the rest of the team, no slouches, no damage under 300, which is good to see. And obviously your lowest fragger other than the medic is your top damager. So great stats. I mean, again, it was a bit of a roll, so kind of expected. Velocity Esports, who's kind of slacking? Looks like it's Kryptonite and Marmalou at the bottom of the scoreboard. 240 DPM about each, 7 frags each. So again, not great performance, but I think it's more of a team issue when it comes to Velocity, the way they've been playing. It just hasn't been on the same level as Fan Gaming all match.
And I think one really important stat line here. May has an indeterminate KD.
True. Not died once, and Bear has died a total of 7 times. This May's on track for a perfect game.
Yeah, and I think I wonder if Velocity is consulting these stats and seeing if that's something they want to do. If they want to just, in spite of their 3-0 defeat in the first half, just put all their effort to killing May, get that frag, and see if it changes something. I don't know, maybe, but this is kind of exciting to see. Honestly, it's been a long time since we've seen medics with perfect games, particularly on a cast itself. I think it's been at least 2 years, maybe even 3.
Yeah, it's usually like it's usually like one or two a season or something, but it's always on the roll games that we don't end up casting. This one we're casting, and we're starting to go live here, Rose. So can May keep the perfect game going live in the second half? Take it away.
Match is live. Green text is glowing. Jarrett's making his way up to the right side of the cliff. Both demos mirroring each other nearly perfectly. Laz playing that position once again in front of connector there. An ornament shoots across the streaks across the point, but won't connect with anyone. Laz going to be jumping in onto the face of Jarrett and takes him down immediately. Going to get retaliated by Knuckles, who is also playing close to the heels. Bear is calling for his team to walk forward, but they're playing on the low ground right now. And Campy's going to hit a nice little pipe there onto a scout, and that's going to initiate the rest of the scouts to walk forward, but they're going to be taking a couple rocket spam here. Thankfully, though, Velocity will not lose any more players. No more initiation from the rest of them. Dingo's playing very careful, and Laz is only just now respawning, so they won't get clumped up at the bottom of the cliff and get taken out by any surprise bombs.
Velocity Esports seem a little scared, and that's not a bad thing necessarily, but because, I mean, they have all their players up, and they're looking to go right here. Bear's going to pop it off on a Shamu, but we'll see if it ends up paying off overall. Again, if they lose this round, the match is over. Laz over on Concrete is going to get bombed up. Big shot by Marmalou and Kryptonite, both going to get frags in that exchange, and Velocity, you're going to be rewarded with this point. They're all standing on it now, and it's going to get capped off. Only like 40 seconds down on the Bank Gaming clock, so not a lot of time at all. Bank Gaming been pushed back. Overall, that was a great exchange by Velocity.
That it is. Velocity now going to have to hold on to it. Jared getting very far forward, though. He does have his medic on him, but not the Uber, and that's going to get him taken down as a result. Yeah, just walking into his face and cleaning him up. We're also going to take a follow-up rack on the Nuck. Shamu. Nuck did get one little ornament that did connect point blank. And nice little hair shot from Dingo there, taking out Marmalou. That was unfortunate. Velocity was able to get their medic out, which is very good because now they're going to have an Uber exchange here very shortly. But I mean, Feint is just so strong. They just walk in and methodically whittle away at the numbers of Velocity.
Losing their demo was probably the start to that collapse from Velocity, and the fact that Shamu was standing right there and wasn't able to kill the scout that was just plus Wing into his demo man, little concerning. He probably should have been able to focus that a little bit better and assess the threats, but that's how it goes sometimes. You can't keep track of everything, and now there's a bit of a fight going on. Bear pops his supercharge off, but he drops Shamu and Kryptonite in the process. That's not good for him. They've already lost 2. They're trying to get the force out of May, but May's milking it so hard, and he doesn't even have to. Oh, he does pop in the end, okay, but Knock ends up going down in anyways. Dingo got the frag on him, and it's kind of a useless Uber from Bank Gaming, but they had that full ad, so not a huge deal. 20% advantage, though. They're building it. It's not a big deal.
I mean, May just did a phenomenal job there. I mean, he didn't even get touched until the very tail end of that Uber, and now we're going to see Marmalou doing some great damage onto May. May's going to be staying alive, but they will be able to get the frag onto Junie. Shamu on the shotgun is... Am I missing something here? Oh, he's Pyro. Okay, well, he's going to be rotating back after they push their way out. Laz is currently sitting in the connector, getting some good damage onto Nuck. He's going to get pushed out, though, as a result. And now Fang Gaming are all clumped up in front of the concrete by the connector. 2v2 about taking a ton of damage. One follow-up from Nuck, and maybe a stray sticky or a roller could catch him out. Velocity will be able to get the cap in the face of Fang Gaming, but they don't mind. They've gotten 2 minutes off the cap, and they are going to be re-pushing at any moment once they get their initiation here. They didn't lose any players in that push.
Yeah, Bank Gaming seeming very hesitant. I think they knew they were at a slight disadvantage, so they really didn't want to take that fight. Now, however, they're at 100%. They did lose their scout, but they're going to pick a big bomb in onto Jarrett. Losing Laz and Yike for that, though, not great for them. Bear did have to pop that off, though. I didn't quite see that. Now May pops, but his supercharge is going to be much, much better. They're going to be colliding all around this middle point. Again, they don't have the player advantage that they need. They're going to trade 1-for-1 for soldiers over in connector, but it's not going to be enough to get this point. And that's pretty crucial because now, unless they can win this re-aggression, they have the better spawns, and that's going to allow them to take it. Shamu's going to end up going down to Boar, and some big aggressions coming up from everybody. Boar gets the second one onto Nuck, so they're going to cap this off. 42 seconds remaining on the clock. This is going well.
Yeah, Fang Gaming know how to take control of the points off Uber. Did a very good job. I mean, May was still in the fray waiting for the respawns, and I mean, May was definitely open up to initiation from one of the players to flank or just get in their face. But by the time anyone could even like take advantage of it, the respawns were there, and now Fang Gaming are in control. Marmalou jumps behind but can't get anything done. Just gets taken down immediately, and I hear a Uber force popped off from May there. Yeah, they are going to be falling off on the Bear. Bear's very close on the Uber, 95%. He's the only player alive, and that's going to be it. A full wipe with 5 seconds on the clock. Velocity lose 0-4. Fang Gaming take it down with a clean sweep and a perfect game for May.
Yeah, great performance by Feint Gaming. You know, they came into the season early. They were pretty shaky. They were losing to teams they weren't supposed to lose to. They were having kind of roll matches against teams they were supposed to be close to. So coming in and being able to take down Velocity, especially when at the end of last season they were kind of considered a worse team than Velocity despite placing higher. This is really promising for them. I think the roster switch-ups have helped a lot. Whether Sandblast was the problem or Boar was the solution or both, it's worked out for them. And this is great by them. Velocity have to be worried about another 5th place finish.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to talk about implications for the season, or do we want to bring up these stats, see what's working, what's cooking right now?
If you have more to talk about implications of the season, we can continue on with that before heading over to stats.
Yeah. So currently, if I can click things without accidentally hitting back on my mouse, we do have Velocity currently sitting at 5th place Fake Gaming at third. Freotech and Swift leading the boards, and Ascent in 6th place. Ugh. And then we have myanimelist.net in 4th place. So a lot of teams currently in contention for that 3rd and 4th slot. 3 players tied up for that slot, and Ascent nowhere to be found.
Yeah, Sense had. If you thought Fang Gaming had a rough start of the season, Sense was definitely rougher. Is rougher a word?
Yes, it is.
All right. Definitely rougher than as they ended up losing like 5-0 to Froyotech. They lost to Velocity, and yeah, not good by them. They lost Corsa, they lost Rando, two of their big players. Maybe Rando was the problem, but Corsa certainly wasn't the problem. Losing him's a big deal. So they could also be worried about not making playoffs. I can't believe I'm saying that. But that's in the cards. It depends how they shape up, really. But with these two teams, I think they both are still not comfortably in playoffs, but looking to get into playoffs, and still something they both got to worry about, and both something they have to be on their minds for the rest of the season.
All right, let's hop on over to the stat line real quick and
Sounds good.
see what's underway. So Timmy Two Pipe, only player to break 10K, also maintained that 500 DPM, which is absolutely phenomenal. Dingo didn't quite do much more. I mean, he only died twice more. The frags were really in favor of Fang Gaming, like you can absolutely tell. Lad's the only player really dying too much, and nobody else on poor velocity could even break even on KD. Barely any of them broke the double digit mark. It's very unfortunate to see here. I'm not really sure what to make of that stat line. I mean, the Uber charges were in the same. I just think, like we saw, Fang Gaming literally had no issues with just walking up, taking the ground, and getting frags one by one. They played as a unit, even without a full team.
Yeah, Fang Gaming definitely show themselves to be somewhat on a different level than Velocity Esports in this match. And I mean, when we're sorting by KD, that certainly shows all blue next to all red. So Velocity got to shape up. Not a lot saying these stats other than it was a roll, and bad news for Velocity Esports. Unless you have anything less to say, Ro, I think we're about done here tonight. Pyro updates dropping tomorrow. Get hyped for that.
Yeah, so this was a pretty clean game. I'm glad to see that it's not all going to be gone yet. We've still got a few hours before everything we know is gone.
Yeah, they said they wanted to drop it early in the morning, so that's if you're excited to play Pyro with a jetpack, that's when you're gonna want to get up early and play some TF2. But for tonight, my name's been Cornpop. I've been joined by Ro and Console on production. Thank you guys for tuning in to ESEA Invite Season 26, Week 4 on Team Fortress TV. We'll be back next week with Week 5. I'm not sure what the map is, but there'll be games for sure, so check over on teamfortress.tv to get all of those. We'll see you next time.